much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz show where obvious answers mean nothing and obscure answers mean everything. Let's meet today's players. Now, first we welcome Polly and Sam. Now, how do you two know each other?
Well, we are both teachers, or I've just given up teaching, but we met across a crowded staff room.
Your eyes met.
Well, Sam's a PE teacher and I was a drama teacher, so I had to sort of learn about sport, and then I went and kind of hung out with the
Could you
PE
tell he was a
guys.
PE teacher? Does he always wear a tracksuit?
Shorts. So shorts, whatever the weather.
Shorts, whatever. Seriously?
Seriously.
So, Polly, you've stopped, you've given up, you've hung up your
I've hung up
gown.
my teaching gown, so
Yeah.
to speak. Yeah, I've decided to totally change career, and I'm going to start a baking business.
Oh.
So, you know, down in Devon, cream teas and all that sort of thing.
Indeed.
So.
Wow. Well, now. So, Polly, what's going to come up this afternoon that's going to be brilliant for you?
Well, we've both travelled a fair bit, so I think kind of geography questions would be quite good for us.
Sam, what about you? What would be a good subject for you?
I guess the kind of science-type subjects. I did science A-levels, although failed them all, but I like science. I guess sport-related questions would be good. Maybe not horse racing, though.
Not horse racing.
Not horse racing.
OK, that's a sport you actively avoid.
I'm not really built for horse racing.
OK. Or even watching it.
Not really.
Really? Well, very, very best of luck to the pair of you. It's lovely having you on the show. Next, we welcome back Alan and James. You were on the show last time. Everyone gets 2 chances to reach the Pointless final, and this is your second and last chance. James, what happened?
Well, I happened, essentially. Alan did quite well on the first sweep, but because we were in podium number 1 last time, I had the last chance, so I was left with an incorrect answer or a pointless answer.
You
so
had
I took a
Grey Willow or
50-50
Larkin?
gamble. That was it. So I had to take a guess. I picked one. It was the wrong one. Obviously, Alan would have picked the other one, as he has informed me since the last show, pretty much on constant basis.
OK.
You see that smug face?
It's like that, yeah.
Since the last show.
So what are you hoping is going to come up this afternoon, James?
Music would be good, film would be good, TV would be good, current affairs. I'd like to avoid history, if possible, so that wouldn't be a great one if it did appear today.
You avoid history. Alan, are you going to pick up the loose history balls that James leaves?
I ought to be able to pick up the history balls because my wife's a history teacher.
Yeah.
But it really hasn't rubbed off on me, so no, history's not good for me either.
OK, well, very, very best of luck to the pair of you. Now, welcome, Dee and Colin. How do you two know each other?
Well, we're married. We've been married for 4 years, and we met when, at just over 40, I decided I'd start my life and I'd go to a 10-pin bowling league.
I'd been league bowling for a while by then, and we were pretty much running the league. And Dee turned up, and we just sort of hit it off, didn't we, from the start?
Yeah.
And from that sort of humble beginning, we've both taken 10-pin bowling coaching instructors courses and qualifications, and we've both coached at county level.
And do you guys play with the bumpers up?
No, never.
There's only one way that's fun, and that's if you see how many times you can get it to bounce off the bumpers before it gets to the...
14.
Awesome.
We're not worthy.
That would be impressive, actually.
Yeah. I would love to take 10-pin bowling coaching. I genuinely would.
It's actually, so would I.
Yeah.
So I'll
See
tell you
us
what,
afterwards.
Trick is, Richard, it's what you do afterwards. So you just roll
I
out.
know that.
Bring
But also,
the
you're not bringing your back leg across.
What?
You're supposed to. Your back leg is supposed to
He's
sweep
bowling off
behind
the
your
wrong
front leg.
leg.
Bowling off the wrong foot.
Oh, I'm bowling off the wrong
Bowling
foot.
off the wrong foot.
Oh, well, there you are.
That's it.
Like that, like that.
Finesse.
We can
Well
only
done.
improve finesse.
You have to have your finesse. Your left arm out.
What?
Hey, bravo.
Wow, look at that. Anyway, very warm welcome to the show, Dee and Colin. It's lovely to have you here. And finally, we welcome back Joe and Danny. You were also on the show last time. Remind us what happened.
I don't believe it, but we got stumped by Victor Meldrew.
You did. 1 foot in the grave. We had a 1 foot in the grave question.
We did, and unfortunately sitcoms are not, well, certainly not 1 foot in the grave. We're certainly not anywhere
Well, it
near.
was. I mean, it was undoubtedly a classic sitcom. There's no getting away from that. But you either watched it or you didn't, I suppose.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes. Oh, well, never mind. You did very well. But, Joe, what would you like to see come up this afternoon?
I'd love music, 70s music, the glam rock era.
That's your era?
It is, yeah, that's my teenage years. Or else musicals.
Musicals.
I love musicals.
Mum's obsessed with music.
Obsessed with musicals. Did you head up to London and see musicals on the West End, if you can?
I'm up there as much as I can.
What's your favourite of the recent batch?
My favourite is Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of the Opera.
I've seen that over 120 times.
120. That is. That's verging on the pathological, isn't it?
It is.
Do you like it?
I like it. Les Miserables I've seen over 40 times.
Wow.
And when Aspects of Love was on, I didn't get to see that as many times. That was only about 25.
Wow. Just the 25 times.
Yeah.
My goodness. Danny, what would you like to see come up this afternoon?
Possibly sport. I enjoy running. No football.
OK, no football.
No football.
Some running questions.
Yeah, I could do running.
Yeah,
I enjoy
okay.
netball as well.
OK.
Started back at netball. Tennis. Could probably cope with tennis as well.
Well, very best of luck. It's great having you back on the show. Let's hope we see you all the way to the head-to-head again and maybe even beyond. We'll find out more about all of you throughout the show as we go along. There's only one person left for me to introduce. In the search for obscure knowledge, he is the light at the end of the tunnel. He is my pointless friend. He is Richard.
Oh, yeah. Hello. Afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. What a lineup we've got today.
Ooh.
Goodness me. We've met a few of them before. Of course, Joe and Danny, who went all the way through to the head-to-head last time, so should do well. We met Alan and James, but didn't stay with us for very long, but I suspect they were hiding their light under a bushel. There's going to be a little bit of film, a little bit of music if you can make it through to round 3. The bad news for Sam is round 1 is the sort of thing a PE teacher should be able to do rather well at. And if you did badly, that might make you look bad in front of, say, a school full of pupils.
OK, there's that to look forward to. Well, we've put all our questions to 100 people before the show, but this is pointless, so we are after the obscure answers they didn't get. To stay in the game with a chance to win our jackpot, all our players need to do is score as few points as they possibly can. Now, what everyone's trying to do, of course, is find a pointless answer. That's an answer that none of our 100 people gave, and each time that happens, we will add £250 to the jackpot. Nobody won the jackpot last time, so we add another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at £5,500. There you are. Right, let's play Pointless. In the first round, each of you must give me one answer and you cannot confer with your partner. Whichever team has the highest score at the end of the round will be eliminated, so try and make sure that's not you. If anyone gives me an incorrect answer, they will score the maximum of 100 points, so do try and avoid those. OK, our first category this afternoon is sports programmes. Sports programmes. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many presenters and team captains of A Question of Sport as they could. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for anyone who's been a presenter or full-time team captain for at least one full series of the BBC show Question of Sport. It's right since the beginning up to April 2011, please. No guest hosts or guest captains.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now then, Polly and Sam, you all drew lots before the show, and this afternoon you get to go first. So, Polly, Question of Sport.
Obviously, I watched this by default, but I did actually used to watch it when I was younger. And I remember that Emlyn Hughes was a captain, so I'm going to go with Emlyn Hughes.
Emlyn Hughes, you're saying? You're hoping to score as few points as possible. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Emlyn Hughes. Yes, it's right. Down it goes. Look at that, 20. Very well done, Polly. Emlyn Hughes, 20 points. Richard.
Yeah, very well played, Polly. He had 2 stints as team captain from 79 to 81 and 84 to 88.
Now then, James. So remember, we're looking for regular presenters and team captains from A Question of Sport.
I do know the sort of fairly recent lineup, so I'm going to have to go for something which I know is correct rather than take a stab in the dark.
OK.
So I'm going to have to go for Ali McCoist.
Ali McCoist, says James. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Ali McCoist. It's right. 25. Not bad at all. 25 for Ali McCoist.
Yeah, well played, James. Team captain and former Scottish footballer.
Thank you very much. So then, Dee.
Yes.
Do you watch Question of Sport?
I used to watch it a lot with my dad. It was his favourite programme. We've started watching it quite recently as well. One of the captains that's on it at the moment is one of our favourites. But I'm not going to go for him because it's a bit obvious. I'm going to go for Bill Beaumont.
Bill Beaumont, very good. You're saying Bill Beaumont. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people remembered Bill Beaumont. He's right. Go on. 29. Evidently a well-remembered team captain, Bill Beaumont.
Yeah,
Richard.
well, he was team captain for a long time, 82 to 96. Had many rivalries, including, of course, with Emlyn Hughes.
OK, now then, Danny. Question of sport.
I've got a horrible feeling I'm going to leave Mum in a really, really awful position with this because I wanted to go with Ali McCoist, but obviously he's already gone, so I'm going to play it a bit safe. I'm going to go with Sue Barker.
Danny is saying Sue Barker. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Sue Barker. It's right. But it's very right. 48 people said Sue Barker. Richard?
Yeah, pretty hefty score. She took over presenting, of course, in 1997, Sue Barker.
Well, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Well, the very best answer so far from Polly. Polly and Sam looking very strong on 20. Then we go up to 25, where James and Alan are to be found. Then up to 29 for Dee and Colin. And then up quite a way to where Danny and Joe are on 48. So, yes, Joe, as Danny said, you have a bit of a hole to dig yourself out of. But very best of luck. We're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? Remember, we are looking for regular presenters and team captains on A Question of Sport. Now then, Joe and Danny are the high scorers on 48. So, Joe, you have to score as low as you possibly can.
Right, I've got two names and I think I'm going to go for John Parrott.
John Parrott. Let's see if it's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said John Parrott. It's right. Ooh, the best answer yet. Look at that. 12. 12 takes your total up to 60.
Well done, Joe. Good answer. The Liverpudlian snooker player, of course, took over the series after Bill Beaumont left.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now, Colin, the high scorers are Joe and Danny on 60. You are on 29. If you can score 30 or less, you are definitely through to the next round. So remember, we are looking for regular presenters and team captains from A Question of Sport.
I'm a little bit torn whether to go obscure and risky or not quite so obscure. I think
that might also be risky, remember?
Well, yeah, I think I'm going to go with that, though. I'm going to go with Willie Carson.
Willie Carson. There is your red line. If you can get below that red line with Willie Carson, it's about Willie Carson's height. You are through to the next round. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Willie Carson. It's right.
Keep going.
Yep, you've done it. Very well done, Colin. 13. Another great answer. That takes your total up to 42. Richard?
Yeah, well done, Colin. Another person who had a rivalry with Bill Beaumont.
Splendid. Now then, Alan, you're on 25. The high scorers on 60 are Joe and Danny. That means if you can score 34 or less, you are through to the next round. So remember, we are looking for regular presenters and team captains on A Question of Sport.
I'm going to go, I think when I was younger, I used to watch at home, I think another rivalry with Bill Beaumont was Ian Botham.
Ian Botham. There is the red line. Below that, you are in the next round. Ian Botham, says Alan. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people remembered Ian Botham. Very well done. You've done it. Oh, very good. 13, Alan. Superb. That takes your total up to 38. Richard.
Yeah, well played, Alan. As you say, another rivalry with Bill Beaumont.
Splendid. Now then, Sam. Sam, you are on 20. The high scorers on 60 are Joe and Danny. That means if you can score 39 or less, you are definitely through to the next round. I think this is just so up your street that you might even be able to find a pointless answer?
I've got a good idea for a pointless answer. I do have one, but the pressure of 1,500 school children plus 120 teaching staff laughing at me if I get this wrong is ramping up, I can tell you. That said, I'm going to go for Henry Cooper.
Henry Cooper. There's a red line there. Sam? Below that red line, through to the next round. If this is pointless, a ticker tape parade. Please, can that happen? Let's see. You are saying Henry Cooper. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Henry Cooper. Very, very best of luck. It's right. It's only right, Sam. Obviously, you're through to the next round. Oh, it's 5. It's not pointless, but it's the best answer of the entire round. Fittingly, it's 5, and it takes your total up to 25. Very well done.
Yeah, very well played, Sam. Great way to end the round. Yeah, he was one of the original team captains. And actually, we'll take a look now at the best answers you could have given, and that original lineup was the one you needed to go for. Let's take a look. David Vine, the original host, was a pointless answer. Gareth Edwards, who was team captain from 79 to 81, the Welsh rugby player, scored 1. Cliff Morgan was the other team captain opposite Henry Cooper right at the start of Question Sport. Those are the best answers. Very well done if you said any of those. Let's take a look at the most popular answers, the ones that most of our 100 said. Bill Beaumont, there we go, 29. Phil Tufnell, 43, one of the current captains. And right at the top, Sue Barker was the biggest scorer of all, 48. So Phil Tufnell beat Matt Dawson. Sorry, Matt.
Thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of round 1, the losing pair with the highest score. I'm sorry, Joe and Danny. Head-to-head last time, I'm afraid Sue Barker did for you.
She did.
She just does things like that. Lovely answer from you, Joe. John Parrott. Wonderful.
Completely let down.
Never mind.
But I guess this was slightly a one foot in the grave moment for you.
It was indeed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, well. Never mind. Well, you have played phenomenally well on the show. It's been great having you on. I'm sorry I have to say goodbye to you so soon, but lovely having you. Joe and Danny, thanks so much. Great congratulations. But for the remaining 3 pairs, it's now time for round 2. Now, there's only room for 2 pairs, quite obviously, in the head-to-head, so one of the teams in front of me now will be leaving us at the end of this round. Try and make sure it's not you. Our category for round 2 is fiction. Fiction. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, so our round 2 question concerns imaginary places and their creators. Imaginary places and their creators, Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 6 imaginary places on each list. We asked 100 people to tell us which author originally created them. If you give us a nice obscure answer, you're going to score fewer points. If you give us an incorrect answer, though, as always, you're going to score 100 points. So 6 imaginary places on each pass, 12 in all to guess at home. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much. So we are looking for the authors who originally created these imaginary places, and we have got Gormenghast Castle, Toad Hall, Discworld, Narnia, Oz, Cloud Cuckoo Land. I'll read through those one more time. Gormenghast Castle, Toad Hall, Discworld, Narnia, Oz, Cloud Cuckoo Land. There they are. There are the fictional places. Now, Sam, I want the most obscure author you can think of who has created one of these places.
Annoyingly, I have read Gormenghast, but I can't remember who wrote it. So I'm going to go with Discworld, Terry Pratchett.
Terry Pratchett, Discworld, you're saying. Sounds good to me. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Terry Pratchett. It's right. Very well done, Sam. 22 for Terry Pratchett, Richard.
Yeah, well done, Sam. A flat world that says rested on the back of 4 elephants, which are in turn on the back of a giant turtle. It's imaginary.
Phew.
Yeah. Don't panic.
Phew-y. Thank you very much, Richard. Now then, Alan, these fictitious places, do they mean anything to you?
I've heard of all of them. Would help if I could remember the authors to them, though. I think I'm going to have to go with Narnia, which is C.S. Lewis.
C.S. Lewis, Narnia. OK. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew C.S. Lewis. 43. 43, yes, that is quite high, Richard.
Yeah, correct. But quite high. Yeah, first appears in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe.
Very good. Thank you very much indeed. Now then, D. We come to you. You're the last person to have this board. So you can talk us through all of these fictitious places and supply the authors, if you like.
I'd like to. The only two I knew have gone. Toad Hall, I've heard of it. I can't remember for the life of me the author. Sorry, Han. It's not the right author. Toad Hall, Robert Louis Stevenson, but I don't know. I just don't know the answer, I'm afraid.
OK, you're saying Robert Louis Stevenson for Toad Hall.
Yeah.
Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. No. Oh, bad luck. D, I'm so sorry. I'm afraid that's incorrect. Means you score the maximum of 100 points, Richard.
Yeah, quite a tough board, that, I think. There's lots of famous places there, but who created them is the question. Toad Hall, not Robert Louis Stevenson, that's Kenneth Grahame. Would have scored you 8 points. Oz, do you know who originally wrote The Wonderful Wizard of Oz?
No.
No, his creation is much more famous than he is. Would have scored you 2 points. It's L. Frank Baum. L. Frank Baum. Good answer in a pub quiz, that, if it ever comes up. Gorman Castle. Any ideas at all, Sam, if you've read it? It's Mervyn Peak.
Mervyn Peak.
Mervyn Peak would have scored you 1. And Cloud Cuckoo Land, the hardest of all, is a pointless answer. Very, very well done at home if you said Aristophanes. Aristophanes. It's a Greek political satire.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. We are halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores as they stand. On 22, Sam and Polly looking extremely strong indeed. Up to 43, Alan and James quite high, but actually you've been thrown a lifeline by D with her 100 points, I'm sorry to say. So, Colin, you have to find a really obscure answer on the next pass and hope that somehow that's going to get you through. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more fictitious places on the board, and here they are. We have got Lilliput, Utopia, Baskerville Hall, Rohan, Wonderland, Island of Hearsay. I'll read those all one more time. Lilliput, Utopia, Baskerville Hall, Rohan, Wonderland, Island of Hearsay. Now remember, we are looking for the creators of these fictitious places, and you're trying to find the one that the fewest of our 100 people knew. Now then, Colin.
I know all of these places, but I can only think of 2 authors, and I think I'm going to have to go with an obvious one because we can't afford to get another one wrong. And I'm going to go with Rohan and J.R.R. Tolkien. OK, Rohan, J.R.R. Tolkien, you're saying. Let's just see. Let's see. Rohan, J.R.R. Tolkien. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Well, it is right. Down it goes. Oh, very well done, Colin. It's the best score so far. That's a great answer, as it turns out. Richard, Rohan?
Yeah, Rohan lies just north of Gondor, just northwest of Mordor.
Yes.
The sunny side, obviously.
Yeah.
Very good. OK, thank you. James.
Yes.
The high scorers are Colin and Dee on 110. You're on 43. That means you have to score 66 or less. Do you think you can do it?
I am a little bit worried, if I'm honest.
This is music to Colin and Dee's ears.
I know what Lilliput is from. I'm not going to say it in case it helps anybody else out. I cannot think of the author. And Wonderland, I believe that it's Lewis Carroll. Lewis Carroll for Wonderland.
Lewis Carroll.
I think.
For Wonderland.
I think it's Lewis Carroll.
Here comes your red line. If you go below that red line with Lewis Carroll, you are through to the next round.
OK.
Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Lewis Carroll for Wonderland. It's right. And you are through to the head-to-head. Very well done, James. Correct. 15 points takes your total up to 58. Very well done. Richard.
Yeah, well done, James, from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland from 1865.
Splendid. Now then, Polly, you are on 22. The high scorers on 110 are Colin and Dee. That means if you can score 87 or less, you are through to the next round. You can also fill in all the blanks on the board if you like.
Well, yes, if I knew them. I mean, I know Lilliput's Gulliver's Travels, as I'm sure everyone else does, but I cannot, for the life of me, remember who the author is. No idea about Utopia or Island of Hearsay. So the only one I'm guessing at is, I think, Baskerville Hall. I'm just wondering if it's from Hound of the Baskervilles. So I'm going to go Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, but I really don't know.
Conan Doyle, you are saying for Baskerville Hall. There's your red lines, nice and high. Let's see if Baskerville Hall is indeed Arthur Conan Doyle, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Best of luck. Yes, of course it is. And you got through to the head-to-head. Very well done.
Oh, brilliant.
Down it goes. 25. It's a great answer. Takes your total up to 47. Richard.
Yeah, fittingly, that was actually rather well deduced, Polly. Let's take a look at the rest of the answers. Again, quite a tough board, this one. Lilliput.
Jonathan Swift.
Jonathan Swift, absolutely, from Gulliver's Travels. Jonathan Swift, 9 points. Utopia.
Thomas More.
So Thomas More, yeah, would have scored you 2 points. The original Utopia. And Island of Hearsay, do you know that?
Kingsley.
Yeah, it's from The Water Babies by Charles Kingsley. It's a pointless answer, so very well done if you said that. Anybody got all 12 of those, you can congratulate yourself. I think that was 2 tough boards.
2 very tough boards, yeah. Well, thank you very much, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score, Colin and Dee.
Yeah, I let him down, I'm afraid.
No, you didn't. You didn't. You didn't. The creations are so much more famous than their creators, aren't they? That's the trouble. And everybody knows all of the places. And then you try and think, oh, who created that? Yeah. The good news is we will see you again next time. There's consolation in it, I promise. We'll see you again next time. We'll look forward to it very much indeed. Colin and Dee, brilliant contestants. Thank you very much for playing. But for the remaining 2 pairs, things are about to get even more exciting now as we enter the head-to-head. Very well done, Polly and Sam. Alan and James, you have made it through to the head-to-head. Now, obviously, only one pair can make it through to today's final and play for today's jackpot, which currently stands at £5,500. Now, for each question, each pair needs to give me just one answer, but you are now allowed to confer. All you have to do is come up with an answer that scores less than the other pair, and you will win that question. The first pair to win 2 questions will be playing for today's jackpot. Let's play Pointless. OK, here is your first question. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Alfred Hitchcock films with one-word titles as they could. Alfred Hitchcock films with one-word titles, Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for any film for which Alfred Hitchcock has received a directing credit prior to April 2011, which has one word in its title. As always, no TV films, short films or documentaries. There are 18 films on this list.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, Polly and Sam, you've played best throughout the show so far, so you go first.
OK. I think he did a film called Rope.
You are saying Rope. Very good. Alan and James.
I can think of lots of Alfred Hitchcock films with more than one word.
I can only think of one with one word, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can think of one with one word, but it is his most famous film.
Cannot think of any
which is Psycho, so I don't think I'm going to go with that unless we haven't got a better answer.
I don't know any others.
North by Northwest.
The Birds is The Birds.
It's The Birds.
It's The Birds, it's not just Birds.
I think we're going to have to just say Psycho and be pretty aware that we're not going to go through, unless, of course, Rope is the wrong answer.
So we have Rope, we have Psycho. Polly and Sam saying Rope. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Rope. It's right. It's right. Oh, it's a low score. Oh, look at that. That's brilliant. A spectacular score there, Polly. Very, very well done, Polly and Sam, I must say. Alan and James. Well, you went with Psycho.
It's not looking good, is it?
Good job you didn't sweat it, because frankly, only a pointless answer was going to beat Rope.
It's unlikely.
Psycho. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Psycho. Maybe everyone just forgot it. Psycho. is right. Ooh, 51.
49 people.
There we are, very well done. Polly and Sam, after one answer, you are ahead 1-0. Richard.
Yeah, very good answer, rope. It was his first colour feature, actually, of 1948. There is a pointless answer up here, but it's a very, very obscure one. In 1930, when he made his film Murder, which is also an answer in a minute, he simultaneously shot a German version of the same film with a German cast. That film is called Mary. It's a pointless answer, so very well done if you got that. Saboteur would have scored you 1. Sabotage, based on Conrad's Secret Agent, that would have scored you 1. There's rope, brilliant answer, Polly, 1 point. Lifeboat, shot entirely in a lifeboat, that would have scored you 1. Frenzy, it's his penultimate film, also 1. Topaz would have scored you 1. Suspicion, 1. Spellbound, 1, had the famous Salvador Dali dream sequence in it. Downhill, which is a silent movie, and Champagne, also a silent movie, both would have scored you 2. Blackmail would have scored you 2. The last page, Notorious, 5. Murder, 5, that's the one that Mary was a version of. Rebecca, of course, from Daphne du Maurier's novel, 7. Marnie, 9. Vertigo, of course, 17. And Psycho way out in the lead with 51. Very well done if you got some of those low-scoring ones.
Thank you very much, Richard. Here is your second question. Now, Alan and James, you have to win this question to stay in the game. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Boney M UK top 40 singles as they could. Boney M UK top 40 singles.
Yeah, we're looking for any single released by Boney M which reached the UK top 40 prior to April 2011, please. And unbelievably, there are 16 names on this list.
60?
16.
16, I was going to say 60. Wow, they were busy.
I wouldn't want to read them out.
Yeah. Oh. Now then, Alan and James, you go first this time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're going to go for Mary's Boy Child.
Mary's Boy Child, say Alan and James. Very good. Polly and Sam.
We've got a number of options. I think that's quite a good answer. So we could go...
Well, there's Rara Rasputin.
Rasputin, Daddy Cool, Brown Girl in the Ring. What do you reckon? I think Daddy Cool.
Yeah, we'll go Daddy Cool.
Daddy Cool.
You're going to go Daddy Cool.
Yeah.
Alan and James, you have to win this to stay in the game. Polly and Sam, if you win this, you go straight through to the final. In the order they've been given, Alan and James, Mary's Boy Child. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people said Mary's Boy Child. It's right. Ooh, very good, 27. What do you think?
It's not great. I thought less people would have said that, to be honest.
27 is quite high, isn't it, for Mary's Boy Child? And we then have Daddy Cool from Polly and Sam. Daddy Cool, is it right? How many people said it? It's right. Where's it going to stop? Now then. Yep, you've done it! 15 for Daddy Cool. Very well done, Polly and Sam. That means after only 2 questions, you are straight through to the final 2-0. Richard.
Yeah, well played. Daddy Cool was their first ever hit, actually, in 1976. And Mary's Boy Child, it was Christmas #1 in 1978. One of the top 10 selling singles in the UK of all time, Mary's Boy Child. Wow. Let's take a look at all the Boney M singles. We Kill the World, brackets Don't Kill the World. That was a pointless answer. Ma Baker, Somebody Scream is a remix of Ma Baker that they did with a group called Horny United. That was pointless. I'm Born Again, that's a pointless answer. Gotta Go Home, pointless answer. Gotta Go Home was double A-side with El Lute, which is also a pointless answer. Boney M Mega Mix from 1992. That was pointless. OK, that's all the pointless ones out of the way. Let's take a look at some of the more familiar ones. Painter Man would have only scored you 1. Hooray, Hooray, It's a Holly Holiday would have scored you 1. Their cover of Sunny, that would have scored you 2 points. Belfast, 3. There's Daddy Cool on 15. Ma Baker would have scored you 16 points. That would have been a good answer. Mary's Boy Child, Oh My Lord, 27. Brown Girl in the Ring, 34. Rasputin, 44. And Rivers of Babylon, 54. Big scores for Boney M.
Very big,
Very memorable songs.
Indeed. So, the losing pair at the end of the head-to-head, I'm sorry to say, Alan and James.
Gutted. Sunny, I knew Sunny, I just couldn't remember if it was definitely them that sung it. That's frustrating.
Yeah.
Never mind.
But it's been fantastic having you on the show, Alan and James. Very, very well done indeed. Great contestants. But for Polly and Sam, it's now time for our pointless final and the chance to win our jackpot of £5,500. Well, congratulations, Polly and Sam. You have fought off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot stands at £5,500. Now, the rules are very simple. All you need to win that money is to find a pointless answer. That's an answer none of our 100 people could think of. We haven't had any pointless answers on the show today. You only have to find one now, and you will go home with that £5,500 jackpot. Firstly, you've got to choose a category. You can choose from these three options. They are the military, British Olympians, theatre.
I'm terrified because I'm a drama teacher. So if I get theatre wrong, I'm going to be shocked if I was a drama teacher.
And if it's British Olympians and I get it wrong?
Yeah. Which one do you want to go for?
I think theatre, because
Okay.
I've been to the theatre once or twice.
OK, theatre.
You're going to go for theatre. OK, what would you like it to be in theatre?
All I'm scared is that it's going to be something I should know, and then I'll be humiliated on national television.
OK, let's find out what the question is. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many Olivier Award-winning actors as they could. Olivier Award-winning actors. Richard.
Yeah, we're looking for anyone who's won the Olivier Award for Best Actor or for Best Actress from 1985 right up to the 2011 ceremony, please. So either Best Actor or Best Actress. That doesn't include Best Actor or Actress in a musical.
Thank you very much. OK, you now have up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers, and all you need to win that £5,500 is for just one of those answers to be pointless. Your 60 seconds start now.
Kevin Spacey.
But has he won it?
I'm just thinking.
I don't...
But there's the...
I think 85. So, trying to think of some actresses.
Judi Dench.
Yeah, she's too obvious. I mean, there's Kenneth Branagh, Emma Thompson might have won it. I don't know.
Ian McKellen.
We could try him.
Yeah.
John Hurt, maybe.
Who's the guy who is Picard in Star Wars? Baldy guy.
Patrick Stewart, yeah.
The baldy guy.
Yeah. Yeah, because they did Waiting for Godot, didn't they?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Who else? It's going to be more obscure than that, though, because surely people will know.
But not many people are going to know that many Olivier Award winners.
I know.
If it's random people.
And from 1985 as well.
Yeah.
Maggie Smith, do you think?
It's a good shout.
She might have done. Which 3 are we going to go with?
If we go Patrick
5
Stewart.
seconds.
Yeah. John Hurt.
Yeah. Maggie Smith, that's a good shout.
OK, your minute is up. We were looking for Olivier Award-winning actors. I now need your 3 answers.
OK, we're going to go Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
We're going to go with Maggie Smith.
Maggie Smith.
And...
Let's go John Hurt.
OK, John Hurt.
And John Hurt. OK, there are your 3 answers. Of those 3, which do you think is your best shot at a pointless answer?
I'm not sure any of them have
I think Patrick Stewart, but...
Right, we'll put Patrick Stewart last.
We'll put him last. Patrick Stewart last. Which is your least likely pointless?
Maggie Smith.
Maggie Smith, we'll put her first. OK, let's put them up on the board in that order, and here they come. Maggie Smith, John Hurt, Patrick Stewart. Cracking cast. Look at that. Let's hope they are all correct answers and pointless. OK, we were looking for Olivier Award-winning actors. Remember, you only have to find one pointless answer to win that jackpot, £5,500. OK, this is your first one. Maggie Smith, you thought this was the one you were least confident. You had least faith in this being pointless. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Maggie Smith. Ooh. Well, what an oversight, is all I can say. Olivier Awards Committee, if you're watching. Maggie Smith, one of our great theatrical dames, never won an Olivier Award. Who knew that? Never won a Best Actress, anyway, Olivier Award. So, unfortunately, that is not a pointless answer, which means you only have 2 more chances to win today's jackpot. What would you do with £5,500?
Well, I'd put it towards setting up my business, my baking business. So
Very good.
It. But I think we'd probably go on holiday as well.
Holiday first, baking business after that when you come back. OK, so we are looking for Best Actor winners of the Olivier Awards. Let's hope nobody said your next answer. John Hurt. It has to be right, and it has to be pointless, and if it is both of those things, you will win our jackpot of £5,500. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said John Hurt. Oh, no! Oh, it's unbelievable. John Hurt, Maggie Smith. 2 incorrect answers. OK, you only have one more chance to win today's jackpot of £5,500. Everything is resting on the great Patrick Stewart.
Let's hope he is great.
He is great.
Let's hope he's Olivier great.
Let's hope he is Olivier great. OK, this is your last answer. It has to be pointless, otherwise we say goodbye to you and you leave here empty-handed. Patrick Stewart, please be correct, please be pointless. Oh, no! No! Oh, it's unbelievable. Oh, bad luck, bad luck. Unfortunately, you didn't manage to find that vital, pointless answer. So I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot of £5,500, which will roll over onto the next show. But you have been brilliant contestants, and you do, of course, get to take home our pointless trophy. So here's at least that. Oh, Richard.
I think that might be our unluckiest end round of all time. I suspect he just about gave us the only 3 people who haven't won an Olivier Award. Maggie Smith and Patrick Stewart both been nominated. Neither of them have won. All sorts of pointless answers up there. Kristen Scott-Thomas, Derek Jacobi, Julie Walters, Rachel Weisz. More importantly for you, Ian McKellen was a pointless answer, and Kevin Spacey was a pointless answer as well.
No!
You said both of them. I'm
He will never
so
forgive
sorry.
me.
Let's take a look at some of the other names. As you say, you managed to sort of just about pick the only famous actors who haven't won. Alison Steadman, Brian Dennehy, Claire Higgins, Fiona Shaw, Ian Holm, there's Ian McKellen, Nigel Hawthorne, Roger Allen, Tamsin Gregg. I mean, there's Anthony Sher as well. There's all sorts of people on the list, and that's terrifically unlucky. You know your stuff. You've been brilliant throughout, and it's been lovely having you on the show. I'm ever so sorry.
Oh, dear, and you mentioned 2 of those. Ian McKellen, Kevin Spacey.
I know.
Never mind.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Well, unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to you, Polly and Sam. But it's been absolutely fantastic having you on the show. You've just been brilliant contestants. So thank you so much for playing. So nobody's won our jackpot today, which means it rolls over onto the next show when we will be playing for £6,500. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.